This is Sybert signing into Kane's Wrath on the map Small Town USA, aka Stusa, for this 1v1 in the top right-hand corner as the blue Steel Talons. This is Futurama. And in the bottom left-hand corner as the yellow GDI, this is Senna. Steel Talons versus GDI, not a matchup that we see very often. And Stusa, one of those maps that does have two safe tib spikes, one for each, well, two for each player, but one on each side, which actually I guess is kind of more common in some of the more recent maps, but I feel like it was less common, more contested spikes, feels like what it used to be. And I guess the worst one of those is would be Dust Bowl, but at any rate, always nice when you can grab the building that's far forward. Either of these two just gives you tremendous vision into your opponent's base, and that's why you can see Futurama grabbed that one to stop Senna from being able to do the same thing. And actually, he grabs them himself, so gets both of them very nicely there. And GDI versus Steel Talons, I feel like, again, not a matchup that we see super often, but instead, just, Heyo, we got a fast airfield coming out from Futurama. And actually, yeah, he has done a pretty much perfect job of denying scouts, which means it's very possible that, let's just check vision real quick here. Okay, so yeah, Zombie can't even, or Senna, can't tell that there are not enough harvesters, because at this point he should have, yeah, 4 or 5 harvesters, whatever it is, but he's only got the one. So instead he's going, it looks like 4 orcas right out of the gate, and now Futurama can, well actually, the MCV is going to be heading north, which means these guys, if the MCV would have been heading along here, these orcas would have caught the MCV in transition and potentially completely destroyed it just right then and there, which possibly would have cut this game very, very short. Instead, we're going to get a couple of harvester kills. Ooh, nice splash damage on that one as well. It means it's extremely low, and it looks like perfect bomb splitting there for Futurama. He didn't overkill any of the harvesters, which means he had exactly enough rockets to kill the 3 just like that. And 3 harvesters down, but of course, you know, Futurama, or Senna rather, was already ahead, so it looks like 4 harvesters, pit bulls, and rocket squads are going to be the response, but 4 harvesters out on the field here for Senna. He's got his MCV already moving to an expansion, and it looks like Futurama was doing the same thing. Might need to add another power plant or something, but he's got his war factory up. He's up to those 3 refineries, or those 3 harvesters with the refinery there, and that'll do it for now. Looks like Orca Strike going to be coming in through the middle of the map, and it looks like the orcas may also be coming in as a follow-up. Does catch 1 harvester, does a little bit of damage, and well, no, I guess these orcas are just hanging out over here on kind of the right side. Nothing going on in the north. Senna more focused just on the defense. Lots of pits all nice and lined up. Wants to be able to catch the orcas if he at all can. And Orca is going to be heading out to the left side of the map. It looks like a hammerhead over here on the right side of the map, though, which means these orcas, well, there's nothing here really for them to catch. I guess they could dump their missiles on the Conyard, but I don't know that that would really be a good use of the orcas. Hammerhead is going to come here. It does, I guess, clear out a couple of rocket squads. The barracks did get sold off, so these rocket squads are kind of all that's sitting there. And then pit bulls are going to be coming in. Maybe get a couple of shots at these orcas. No, they're a little bit too slow. Orcas will be able to avoid everything for now, and of course you don't want to engage that many pit bulls if you don't have to. Right into Tier 3, so no expansion for Senna. He's going straight to Tier 3, and we'll have to see exactly what he's got with that. Second refinery now up and running. War Factory pumping out some pit bulls, and it looks like another hammerhead, or perhaps just that first hammerhead still out on the field. And again, no expansion for either of these guys, considering how weird and unusual this opening has been. Orca's taking a little bit of a hit there. These pit bulls don't want to let them get close to the harvesters. Straight into Tier 3, but not researching anything, which would make me think Marv Reclamator Hub. So it looks like with this positioning, he may just be looking to harvest this expansion field instead of doing anything else with it. Hammerhead in the north, Orcas in the south. They are going to go for the tip spike potentially, but they're going to have to get on out of there, and that last rocket will not be enough to finish off that Orca. It does survive with just a bit of health. Senna binds himself some time. They just needs to get this Marv out, and that will be his next stage of attack. Pitbull is going to be coming in here for Futurama, so he's going to lead in with the Hammerhead, and then he's going to follow it up with the Pitbull. He's going to be able to get a couple of volleys off, but of course the numbers are on the side of Senna. And also, I mean, if Senna really wants to, he could pull Pitbulls back and try and heal them up. But the numbers will overwhelm eventually for Senna. For now, Futurama just going to be pushing forward. The Orcas also hanging out over the city, but not really taking part in anything just yet. Marv, out on the field, immediately decides to sell the Reclamator hub as well. Gets himself a couple of zone troopers inside of that Marv. And for now, the follow-up is also going to be a Tier 3 tech-up for Futurama. No Marv Reclamator hub out on the field just yet. Orcas heading back. All 4 of them are still here. They are low on health, and this field has been completely harvested. So all of the harvesters going to be transferring north, and the income is really going to be provided by that Marv, by sucking up that Tiberium. So still no Reclamator hub, but also still no expansion from Futurama. And this southern field, which is going to be harvested much more slowly over the course of this game, is definitely going to become important as, half the northern field has already been absorbed. Airfield now finally going to be going down, and that, of course, means we may be seeing Firehawks loaded up with anti-air missiles to try and swing things into the favor of Senna. Although this Harvester is exposed, and it may get targeted down by these Orcas, so they are going to be able to take that down. One more missile will be enough to do that. And Pitbulls show up, they'll almost certainly get at least one kill, and there's one. A second one will go down as well. 2 Harvesters do go down. A third extremely low on HP, but it will survive at least for now. Marv going to be forced to pull back, taking a lot of damage from Behemoths. And for now, those engineers are not working fast enough. There's the MCV in the south, all ready to get that expansion up and running. Behemoth's double war factory going to be the choice for Futurama. Senna going to be coming in here with a couple of hammerheads, doing a bit of damage, but I assume AA batteries will be dropped to deal with that. And second war factory did get sold off there, so AA batteries, no problem there, and War Factory potentially not on the way for the repairs, so he's just going to be relying on the engineers, which does take a while, but eventually you will be able to heal up that Marv. Pitbull's showing up from Senna, going to be able to get the kill on one of these Harvesters before getting on out of there, and that one Hammerhead doesn't have enough power to kill all of these Pitbulls. Even a Mammoth tank showing up for Senna. Good to see that. He's going to be reversing all the way across the map with his Marv as well. Orcas coming in once again, going for any kills if they possibly can, and it looks like the Orcas haven't quite been rebuilt. He's just going to be rocking the 2 that ended up surviving. Behemoths march on south, and that is going to be the defense for Futurama. Nothing going on up there. I'm not sure what that battle marker was. Hammerhead swinging around to the north side of the map, and for now the Marv will just stay there. That's the defense for the north. Triple refinery on this field, and half of it's, of course, already been absorbed by that Marv. But that's the lifeblood of Senna. Switching into Juggernauts himself, and this one Rifleman squad going to narrowly be able to avoid getting killed by that Mammoth tank. Orcas swing into the middle of the map, again just looking for any possible targets. Rifleman squad's getting cleaned up by that Hammerhead, but not a big deal. What a weird way for this game to go. Such an unusual opening, and the follow-ups have been somewhat strange as well. Into low power mode for just a moment is Futurama. Takes one of his refineries offline. May actually need to get himself a third refinery sooner or later, but the attack is coming in. Senna looking for some kind of a win, looking for some kind of a break. And even a couple of pit bulls going to be heading in north, so they potentially could be trying to dive on the orcas. They don't even need to, as Futurama loses his last orca, trades it out for a kill on one juggernaut. No engineers currently out here. Potentially they would be sniped by hammerheads, but for now, no engineers to get the caps on husks to bring those guys back up and running. It's going to be rockheads as the follow-up. No AP ammo just yet for these guys, or it looks like it hasn't been purchased just yet. One refinery does go down or get sold off there, as the juggernauts now actually going to be turning around, heading home. Pit bulls do come in for the scout, but they are going to go down to the firepower there of Futurama, and that engineer finally out on the way. Hopefully for Senna, Futurama doesn't catch wind of that. Just hanging out up here in the north is Senna. Not really doing anything. Once again, actually no, the Husk got killed, but the engineer stays alive. Behemoths gonna turn around. They're not gonna try and fight this just yet. Engineer finally does get sniped. The hammerheads doing their job. And yeah, so it's gonna be hammerheads and behemoths for Futurama. Ooh, nice avoiding of that sonic strike. Narrowly gets out of the way. Orca strike going to be coming in for Futurama. Will get some nice splash on this harvester. Takes it down to just like a quarter HP, which is actually pretty good, all things considered. This is a lot of juggernauts for Senna. Got himself 8 juggernauts on the front line, which even if at this point Futurama wanted to go for a Marv, 8 juggernauts will waste a Marv pretty darn quickly, which, you know, you still need a something to tank all that damage, but it's really surprising to see someone play Steel Talons and no rail guns out on the field. Not something that we see very often, is someone avoiding rail guns, especially since, you know, Titans, they can be good as long as you've got decent numbers, but of course versus juggernauts, it's going to be harder to make that equation work out in your favor. Firehawks coming in for the bombing run, but actually no, it's going to be anti-air missiles. Looks like the splash damage kind of working out in the favor of Futurama there. 2 more Firehawks are here. They will get a nice kill for Senna, so he's going to be able to keep the skies clear. And for now, the AA batteries don't have enough power to lock those Firehawks down. Nothing researching either, so for now, the Firehawks from Senna will go unanswered. Hammerheads trading out a little bit here, taking a lot of damage on a couple of them, but getting the kill on a pit bull or 2, trying to thin things out and make things a little more even. These two behemoths, they're just here to buy time until the rockheads show up. There is no anti-air supporting this Marv. There is no anti-air supporting these jugs. So Futurama may have an opportunity to try and lock this Marv down. And I mean, the Marv probably has paid for itself just purely in the fact that it harvested so much Tiberium. But Firehawk's finally going to be coming in. They get one hammerhead, and the other hammerheads will still survive. So in combination with the behemoths, which will go down to the orbital bombardment, the Marv gets eliminated, and these juggernauts are dead as well. They're going to go for the power plant, and they will get the kill there. Slingshots driving from the other side of the map to protect the juggernauts, and they keep them safe for now, allowing Senna to push on forward. He's going to be able to clear out this main base, and even a harvester coming in for the victory lap, forced to pull behemoths from the south. They have such a long way to drive, and that tungsten shells, the tungsten shells just do so much damage to aircraft. Behemoths will be able to potentially overwhelm Senna here, but I mean, damage has been done. He's actually lost quite a bit here, and he did get the kill on the Marv, but the Hammerheads were the only, like, fast attacking unit that Futurama has. Everything else is critically slow. So resetting that Hammerhead count means that everything that Futurama tries to do will just be slow moving. And I mean, he definitely does have a lot of potential power if he could get all of these behemoths unified in an attacking front, but again, they've got a huge weakness against aircraft. But also just so much to worry about there. They're going to slowly march their way up to the north as these pit bulls come in, and I don't even know that these pit bulls need to get anything done, really. He's probably just trying to sacrifice them and use them to kind of distract or something. Juggernauts marching on forward. 2 slingshots here to protect as well. The power plant did end up going down, and the command post also goes down. So that's going to be the last anti-air battery for the current minute, and it looks like for now these hammerheads will get pushed away. In the south, buildings getting taken out, but the behemoths have formed a strong line, and if Senna attacks into this, which at this point, you know, hey-oh, there are no base defenses down here. Well, there's anti-air. But if you had split off a couple of units down into the south and exploited the slow-moving nature of Futurama's army, then potentially he could get something more done. He's going to try and dive with the hammerheads. They don't have a ton of DPS, but they do have enough DPS to eventually get the job done. Shockwave artillery locking down 5 of those behemoths, keeping them in place for the artillery shells of Senna to come in and do the work. But it's going to be the same on both sides as shockwave artillery and orbital bombardment, a combination fire off for Futurama to even the odds, and he's going to get even more Juggernaut kills than Senna got. 2 behemoths do still stand, but it looks like it's going to be 4 or 5 Juggernauts on the other side. So eventually it looks like Senna will be able to push on forward. Futurama with only 1 behemoth left. It falls. He's got 1 more in the south here. But Senna slowly going to start working away at this field. He did bring his MCV along. He did grab the tib spike as well. And the engineers are going to be crucial in reclaiming this force. Actually, this behemoth in the south gets the kill on the Juggernaut in the north. So this base will take a little bit longer to go down than Senna initially thought, especially with the Grenadiers now out on the field and just being annoying. More than anything, they're really just buying just a little bit of time. I can't believe these power plants are actually still up here. And the Rifleman squad's getting the kill on the rocket squads just to make this that much more difficult. This behemoth does step forward, but the Titan is also here. It gets annihilated basically immediately. Looks like 1 hammerhead did show up, and it will be wasted oh so quickly. A second behemoth is here, as well as a second Titan, but everything is just getting shredded. Futurama has basically no army. He's just bleeding units 1 by 1 up to the north, trying to hold or slow or stop this advance. And it's actually kind of working, at least on the Juggernaut front. He's actually getting the kills on the Juggernauts of Senna. And actually, this engineer is going to be allowed to cap that husk. I cannot believe that with the hammerhead watching over this attack. He actually got the engineer into that behemoth. He was actually able to reclaim it. Hammerheads from both sides, but an AA battery does still stand, which will give a little bit of strength. Needs to snipe that engineer. Nicely done there by Futurama, keeping the husks out of the hands of his opponent. And this behemoth, oh, he can't get the drop on the Juggernaut of Senna. Senna with the constant reinforcements. He did have the dual racks on the front line, but it's just down to the 1. Right now, the behemoth falls, the power plant falls, and these other power plants should go down as well, which would kind of open things. Oh, he gives away another hammerhead. Senna not letting that, or allowing that AA battery to get a bit more damage. Pitbull's going to be coming in, but it's going to be a war factory on the front line. Most of the husks of the Juggernauts have been cleaned up, but a couple of behemoth husks do still remain. So good job for Futurama cleaning up pretty much everything there. Reclaiming another husk is Futurama, and he actually gets the kill on the Juggernaut as well. The numbers evening up, and a husk going to be sacrificed. A behemoth husk an Orca Strike called in on a behemoth husk right there. And somehow these pitbulls in this Juggernaut could actually do a lot of damage to that MCV. It's unpacked now, so that won't be an option. Hammerhead steps forward to deal with the rocket troops as the APCs and the pitbulls get overwhelmed by Futurama. I cannot believe that the entire army of Senna is gone. Everything has been annihilated, and there's the fire sale. Futurama held the line. And I guess he just bled Senna dry, as Senna committed everything he had to that attack, but was not able to recover from it. Wow, for Futurama. I can't believe that he held that. That was like so many juggernauts that he had to deal with. And over time, he was able to do it. Man, losing those hammerheads. If he had not got caught with those hammerheads, he would have had such a easier time dealing with that attack. So a good game from Futurama, and Senna nearly having him there, but not quite able to do it. Holy cow, their income within 400 credits of each other. All that to say, you know, the Marv gave a big eco boost in like the early/mid game to Senna, but in the end, Futurama actually had slightly more money. So I guess that longer harvesting does work out in that sense. Anyways, that will do it. That's enough rambling for this game. I still can't believe Futurama pulled that out. That was so weird. Anyways, that will do it for this game. Thank you all very much for watching, and this is Sybert signing out.